shot you make is one less that I have to do.
Caitlin Clark's highly anticipated collaboration with Dude Perfect is going viral and could boost WNBA visibility, even with her sideline due to injury. While league attendance and momentum dip, this creative video stands out as a masterclass in fan engagement. Public support for Caitlin continues to grow, though some in the media and sports world still hesitate to fully recognize her impact. Many also feel her fans haven't been properly welcomed.
And that's the worst part of all this, is the new fans are sucking the f***ing life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the...
Caitlin Clark's absence could have a major impact on the future of the WNBA, especially when it comes to player compensation. The stakes are higher than many are willing to admit. Her new video with Dude Perfect isn't just fun, it adds fuel to the conversation. Let's dive in and check out some of the wild moments. For more Caitlin Clark updates, hit subscribe and like this video if you're excited to see her legendary trick shots, like the heave of Hinkle. A few months ago, the teaser dropped and quickly went viral. Fans went wild when Tyler nailed a long shot from the stands with Caitlin watching. In just days, the teaser racked up 13 million views. Now we finally get to see what Caitlin pulls off in the full video.
The Hinkle heave.
The Hinkle heave, here we go!
Caitlin Clark's Dude Perfect collab features over 50 trick shots and is going viral fast. It's more than fun, it's a major win for the WNBA. Dude Perfect has 60M plus subscribers and a massive young, family-friendly fan base. This kind of exposure reaches millions who might have never watched a WNBA game. Caitlin brings personality, skill, and star power in a way no 30-second ad can. Her past games, jersey sales, and record-breaking views prove she's not just keeping up, she's redefining what's possible for the league. Caitlin Clark is now regarded by many as America's most popular athlete. And because it's not only new fans receiving their first up-close glimpse with Caitlin Clark, this Dude Perfect video is probably going to get tens of millions of views. Loyal admirers of Clark are watching repeatedly. They follow her wherever she goes. When Caitlin Clark played at the Annika Prom, ticket sales didn't just rise, they skyrocketed, reaching 12 times the usual numbers. Every time she steps on the court, the WNBA gets free publicity and millions of new viewers. The Dude Perfect collab takes that impact to another level, and the timing couldn't be better, at least for her fans. For critics, it highlights a major misjudgment, especially now that news of her quad injury is spreading fast. Normally, a few missed games wouldn't be a big deal, and she's already back practicing threes. But with the WNBA facing challenges, her absence is being felt more than ever.
Sure about that? Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo!
As soon as Caitlin was ruled out, ticket prices for Fever games, including their rematch versus the Sky, skyrocketed. It was an unmistakable indication. There are no fans for the league, team, or logo. They're coming to her aid.
Out of women's basketball, for a horrible team when she arrived, outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
Oh, yes. And I don't think that...
Caitlin was the reason these tickets were going for hundreds of dollars. In order to meet the demand she generated, the Sky even relocated the game to an NBA arena. And now that she was gone, prices fell. Caitlin Clark alone was responsible for the WNBA's attendance spike last year, so it's a huge red sign. And that momentum vanishes as quickly as it appeared without her.
Next on the team, Caitlin Clark.
Viewership for games without Caitlin Clark is still small, or what some would term disappointing. Caitlin's games are doing this in the meanwhile.
So this is being reported like wildfire, and it has just broken that Caitlin Clark is out with a left quad.
The Fever versus Liberty game peaked at 3.3 million viewers, just after the Sky Fever opener drew 2.7 million, making it the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. Now imagine Caitlin Clark getting 30 million views on a Dude Perfect video. That's the contrast. It's not that WNBA ratings are bad, it's just that, Next to viral YouTube numbers, they feel small. And this gap isn't temporary. Even a few weeks of exposure at that scale can be life-changing for WNBA players and the league as a whole.
I can personally confirm the pronounced change in interest in Fever games without Clark. A week ago, I bought 4 tickets on StubHub to take my sports-playing nieces to the Fever Mystics game in Baltimore. The tickets in the same row are now less than half.
In order to bargain for a better contract, they chose to withdraw from the CBA. It goes without saying that they sought to capitalize on the Caitlin Clark effect, the spike in viewership, the crowded venues, and the influx of sponsorship revenue. However, there was a certain bluster when they discussed it in public.
Ticket prices have fallen more than 300% in less than 2 days.
Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever, from $86 48 hours ago to $25. And by the time June 7th rolls around, it might cost you a bag of Skittles and some Lay's potato chips to get in there.
It happened earlier this year. The players were having a great time. Every growth statistic had soared under Caitlin Clark, and they believed they had finally gained leverage. They were prepared for a hardball game, demand additional perks, higher compensation, etc. They and their followers seemed to believe that Caitlin was only a logical progression of what was already taking place.
319%. 319%. All other teams still grew by double-digit percentages. So let's not forget that. But they didn't grow by 319%. That was Caitlin Clark, which means she's largely responsible for the overall league attendance.
However, everything changed after Caitlin's accident. That leverage, or the idea of it, is rapidly disappearing.
Storm vs. Wings gave you 339,000. The most watched WNBA game on NBA TV that did not involve Clark or the Indiana Fever. 339,000. WNBA hasn't seen any growth when it comes to the non-Caitlin Clark games.
As you can see, Caitlin is the needle, not simply the one who moves it. It will also be more difficult to pressure owners into offering her outrageous compensation and benefits now that her projected worth to the WNBA has been made public.
It is the highest peak of any game. It is the second highest viewership, which is like average viewership. However, it was the highest peak of any game ever on CBS.
According to economist Ryan Brewer, the same expert who found Caitlin Clark drove over 25% of the WNBA's economic activity in 2024, her impact in 2025 could exceed $1 billion. One athlete, one season, $1 billion. And let's be clear, it's all Caitlin. Now, with her out due to injury, ratings are dropping and ticket sales are falling. Some fans are even canceling indie trips. This follows a controversy that unfairly painted Indiana supporters in a bad light, despite no evidence. Meanwhile, tens of millions are ready to watch Caitlin's Dude Perfect video, numbers the WNBA can't match. It's just another reminder. She's not just moving the needle, she is the needle. And now, league owners have all the leverage.
The players can't sit down at a collective bargaining table and say, we demand more because you're not giving us enough money. Because if Caitlin Clark is the only driver of your business, guess what? Not sustainable. Not CBA change.
There's no turning back. Owners have full control after just 6 games without Caitlin Clark. Only Fever games moved to NBA arenas. No other teams got that. The Chicago Sky shifted 2 games to the United Center, showing Angel Reese can't match Caitlin's draw. Entertainment drives the league, but the old guard still doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's a possibility, for real.
Yeah. There's been a lot of conversation here lately about a potential walkout. What are your thoughts on that?
And it's something that we're talking about internally, like to, be prepared for. Of course, no one wants that situation to happen, but I do feel like there's some topics that we have in mind that, we have to stand strong in what we believe in too. We have to stand up for what we feel is right and what we feel we deserve. And so while we don't want that situation to happen, of course, I think we're prepared for any possibility.
While instead of watching a WNBA game, supporters of Caitlin Clark are enjoying amusing viral videos of their favorite player, which have amassed tens of millions of views. You know what's coming next. They will be held accountable. It will be the same stale story that we have heard again. The new supporters aren't true basketball enthusiasts. They're not the WNBA. One player is all that matters to them. The problem is this. They are correct to a certain extent. First and foremost, they are Caitlin Clark supporters.
People know. Look at this lie. This Asia Wilson fan, look at this. This is just a blatant lie. Quote, he isn't lying. Literally look up ratings just the last few years, record ratings. The ratings were putrid. 450,000 people were tuning in for your 3-time MVP, Asia Wilson.
Here's the thing. This is exactly how a league grows. The NBA rose in the 80s and 90s by building around stars like MJ, Magic, and Bird. Fans follow the talent. But some current WNBA players have been short-sighted, seeing Caitlin Clark as a threat instead of a rising tide lifting everyone. Competing against the best isn't a weakness. Undermining her fan base is a vision failure.
All the owners have to do is say, what if she gets injured again? It's like, we are not committing to this because she can get injured again. And if she gets injured again, it's over.
Dismantling supporters shouldn't be the goal. They should be welcomed and made to feel part of something exciting. The league's failure to embrace Caitlin Clark's fans was a serious mistake, and now they're paying the price. Instead of welcoming the new energy, they tolerated, or worse, irritated it. When the hate speech investigation cleared Caitlin and her fans, the league didn't apologize, letting the cloud hang over those who are fueling their success. Combined with recent negativity and Caitlin's injury, it's a perfect storm. But don't expect the haters to change. They'll keep blaming the very fans supporting the league. Meanwhile, on the global stage, Caitlin Clark is treated like Michael Jordan, respected and admired by opponents and coaches alike. That moment shows respect exists, just not always where it should be in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark could have billions of dollars of worth to the WNBA as the star power reaches unforeseen levels.
The same economist who revealed Caitlin Clark drove over a quarter of the WNBA.
The league had chances to fully embrace Caitlin Clark as the generational star she is, like with this Dude Perfect collab. But the damage is done. With Caitlin injured and Buzz struggling, her fans will love this video, while her critics won't. She's working hard to grow a league that's not ready to accept her. Soon, a WNBA game won't even be the most watched WNBA event in June. If you made it to the end of the Dude Perfect video, drop her in the comments. You're the real MVP. See you next time.